So what does the ideal client experience look like for you then?
So the ideal client experience is like you tell me exactly what you want. You give me references, ideally from my stuff and some other stuff you like, and then I'll tell you I've seen all that, but don't expect me to do the exact thing you're asking me for. And if you're fine with that, if you want my interpretation of your ideas and your concept, we can work.
Hey, how's it going? You are here for Heavy Art Talk. As usual, it is your host, Lee, and I am excited. I have a guest that I have really wanted to be on the show for a long time, and I know some of the viewers have anticipated as well. So I have Karmazid joining the show. He is a exceptional painter, pen and ink artist, logo designer, among a lot of things, but I will say he's been a really big inspiration for me. I love his work dearly, and I think a lot of people have been eagerly anticipating learning more about them because he has inspired them as well. A couple bands he's worked with, and there are so many: Mournful Congregation, Lamp of Murmuur, Daeva, Tumult, Visigoth. There's a whole bunch, but without further ado, Karmazid, what's up, man?
Hey! Great to see you again.
I know. Yeah, for those wondering, we had to abort a previous one because we're having some technical issues. But
yeah,
we're just gonna kick it off from the top. I like to always start this way because it just keeps it easy. But I was just wondering what you've been listening to lately.
So lately I've been listening to a bunch of my old favorites, some classics I haven't been listening to in a while. Mainly The Devil's Blood. I don't know, for a couple of, I think a year or so, I didn't really put them on. I don't know why, but they're one of my favorite bands, and yeah, it's been great again. Some Depeche Mode, some, I don't know, oh, my nephew's band, Premature Execution, they just released a song, I've been listening to a lot of that. And I listen to a lot of Lustmord to fall asleep to, which is... yeah,
like that dark ambient stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
works great for me.
Is there like a particular genre or style of music that you like to create art to, or is it just whatever you're in the mood for, like normal listening?
Not really. I mean, I listen to a lot of black metal, and yeah, but yeah, actually, it doesn't really matter what I'm drawing. It's I never had the feeling it influences it all too much, but yeah, I listen to a bunch of stuff. There's some jazz and some classical music in there as well. So yeah, usually what comes on is good enough for me.
I can kind of relate too, because I think people maybe on the outside think that like whatever you're listening to like creates this like mad scientist effect on the art, whereas like sometimes I'm listening like Joni Mitchell drawing something gory, and I don't think anything of it, you know?
Yeah, I kind of phase out hearing the music a bit, I think, while I'm deep into some drawing stuff. So yeah, but I've heard people that like need a certain kind of music to get into a certain mind space, and I think that also makes sense. It's almost ritualistic in a way, but I don't know. Hasn't been like that for me all too much.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Maybe in like the idea generation stage, that would have more influence. But when I'm just like rendering or trying to piece it together, it's kind of already established.
Yeah.
But Devil's Blood, so that I haven't listened a ton to them, but it's kind of like a little bit of like an occult rock metal, right? There's like a little bit of that feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been. They became pretty big right around the time I actually started drawing. And it was always a dream for me to one day work for them. And yeah, it didn't work out in the end, but I did some related stuff. Like Urfaust made a cover of one of their songs, and I created this new version of their sigil for them. And Heretic also did a cover, and I made the cover for the cover art for that one. So yeah, it kind of feels like I did it, at least a little bit.
Nice. I guess that kind of kicks off in a naturally, like, when did you start drawing even just for fun? Like, was that part of your childhood?
Yeah, it was a huge part of my childhood. But I actually kind of stopped drawing like when I was around 12, 14, because a bunch of other stuff came into my life, and like all the silly things you do around that age. So yeah, I didn't really pursue it that much. I doodled here and there, but I didn't work on it. I never drew a full piece or anything like that. And yeah, it really only came again when I turned 30. Like I dropped some really bad habits, like nothing too bad. Like I quit drinking, which wasn't like, I know all people say that, but it wasn't like a huge problem. But it I felt like I wasted a bunch of time with it, and a lot of money, which also meant that I had like a whole weekend not really knowing what I should do. And so
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, you've always been drawing. Just like get some new pens, get some paper, and see where it goes. And yeah, that was it.
Do you recall when you were first starting to take it seriously and you like had all that free time? Like, were you enjoying it right away, or were you kind of like discouraged that you weren't where you wanted to be? I was just kind of curious, like, where your headspace was when you were like trying to start to take it seriously.
I don't really know. I started like doodling again, not really taking it all too seriously, but then like pretty short thereafter, I felt like, yeah, this is something that I've been missing a lot, and I didn't even notice. Um, and like it really helped a lot with all the usual stuff you go through, the depression and all that shit. Like it calmed me, and yeah, I don't know. It made me feel like kind of a better person. Just for me, not wasting time on something so self-destructive, but get into like all the demons out of my head again in a more productive way.
Absolutely. And I imagine the stuff that you were creating then, was it similar in vein of like your interests, and you just
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of gotten better and better? Okay.
yeah. Like it surely looks a lot different, and pretty bad, to be honest. But I yeah, like the subject matter, and that's had always been the same since I was a child. Like monsters, devils, skulls, and death, and all that shit. That's kind of what's in me for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, as a kid, I was always drawing monsters, so like I know how it is. Um, what about like metal music, like heavier kind of music? What was your introduction to that like?
Oh, that was actually pretty early. Like my father had and has a martial arts school in our town, and I've been training there when I was a kid, and some of the kids back then, they were like 15 when I was 9, 10, around that. They were a bunch of like heavy metal kids, and I love to see the shirts they were wearing and the back patches and all the dark stuff. Always kind of spoke to me in a way, and yeah, I was getting more interested in that stuff. They started to show me a little bit here and there, and not like the usual vanilla stuff. Like we went straight into like Venom and Tankard and all that stuff. And yeah, Iron Maiden was really big for me. And yeah, and I think I went to see my first heavy metal gig at, I think, 11 or 10. I think 92 or something. That was Accept, which was amazing, and like your first concert experience that stays with you forever. And yeah, and after that, it became really serious for me. I started to get like the typical early 90s, late 80s hard rock mullet, which looked ridiculous in a way. and the damn bootleg band shirts, and I had some. I took them to the local printer and had the cover art printed on a white shirt. Like that shit looked ridiculous, but I loved it, and yeah, this is kind of the journey. And then from then on, it went pretty straight into. I think I got like my first Morbid Angel D side and Sepultura stuff around 11, 12 or something, and yeah, that was scary in a way, but like the kind of scary you feel like you want more of. This is it kind of speaks to me, or that is it. Will something happen when I listen to that? Will some creature appear, and you while you're kind of afraid of it, you still hope it happens in a weird way.
You can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Dude, I can totally relate. It's just the imagery on those covers, man. Like I remember seeing like the cover of Covenant, and just being like, "What is this book? What is this mysterious thing?" And then hearing God of Emptiness, which I still think is one of my favorite death metal songs. But like, man, when I heard that when I was younger, it just like
and the illustrations in there, like all the woodcutty stuff, and seeing how ignorant and primordial it all looked, but so serious. Like, this is not your fucking Hollywood CGI devil or whatever. This looks like, the people who drew this, they were kind of afraid of that. And that is, that tickled something in me. And and it never left over all these years. Yeah.
It's kind of cool that you, like, the martial arts, beginning too, like, makes me wonder if there was ever going to be like a German heavy metal Karate Kid spinoff,
Would be amazing, actually. Yeah, like really like the silly heavy metal kid from that one Stranger Things
the Eddie Munson or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And he basically looks like all those guys looked, but he's prettier than them, obviously, but not all the acne and stuff. But that was kind of the look, and it was just fascinating, and still think about it in a weird way.
Those formative years, man. It's it kind of shapes who you become in a lot of ways, the good and the bad.
It really does.
So when you were first starting to take it seriously, again, it was pretty much just pen and ink.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you start, experimenting with like painting more seriously too? Because it's like you have a nice range of whatever a band or like a client might want. You can go in like different directions, which is really neat.
I actually started painting like only 4 years ago, I think. Like the first thing I made, I don't even remember what it was, but like those were my first paintings ever, and I actually wanted to just do it for to get a bit of a break from the ink stuff, and just wanted it to be personal work, not really as a commission. But it happened pretty quickly that people kind of wanted that kind of stuff. So I said, why not? But it takes me forever. I'm so bad at it. I have no idea about colors or painting in general. It's always like I wing it, basically. I never draw like a sketch on the canvas beforehand. I just say, those are the colors I kind of think would look okay. And it's always like the cheapest stuff I can get from our equivalent to a dollar store, and then I just go for it. But I like that it's the canvas has more patience with you. Like if I do an ink thing and something goes wrong, in the worst case the whole thing is ruined, and with the acrylics I can just paint over it, and it's like never happened. So I like that.
Yeah. I mean, from the outside looking in, it looks like you're a lot more confident with your paintings than you probably feel like you are. But that's not to diminish what you're saying, because I know the feeling of like not being fully comfortable, but then the outcome still being good. There's like a kind of a dissonance there, but because I think, I mean, people look at your paintings and they might prefer pen and ink. You might prefer it, but like they're still very, very cool and very unique as well, at the very least.
Yeah, it's like, and it's actually kind of like with the drawing as well. I wish I could like go more simplistic. Like I see some stuff other guys are doing, and I just want to like, okay, I want it to be more abstract. I want it to be more shapes and stuff, and then I get lost in it, lost in the paint source, and I just can't stop it. It's weird, but yeah, I'm not fighting it anymore. I tried for a while, but yeah, I can't help it. It just it does what it wants to do. So I think I'm fine with it.
Look, I mean, we're gonna have like the show and tell art section later, but I have noticed that from the outside looking in, once again, it does seem like you're going more towards like iconic, simpler stuff that like has like a lot of immediate power to it, and it's a little like higher contrast, more black, white, not trying to hit that like middle value. I guess, is that just where you're drawn personally, or just kind of what you want to see out there, basically?
Yeah. I've been actually thinking about that a lot. Like some, I get commissions from bands, and it's like for a shirt, and they have all these crazy, lofty ideas of insane, triumphant scenarios, and I think like no one will look at that and think it looks cool if you're just passing by. It might be a thing you I don't know, you hold in your hands and think, oh, that looks interesting. But I feel like the stuff I'm always drawn to is it's simple, iconic. You like, it catches your eye immediately, and there's some like of almost hyper sigil kind of thing happening where you see something, you might not even know what it is, but it has kind of an effect on you. And I know that I won't go there completely. Like there's a way to go too simple, and sometimes I also feel like it's hard to say without sounding like a dick. But there's people who are able to draw like really rough and primitive or almost ignorant stuff.
Yeah.
Because that is their skill set, and I love that shit. I love that more than most insanely intricate illustration. But I feel like if I purposefully tone myself down to that it looks fake, and like I need there to be a certain amount of honesty in there, or else I feel like it's just masquerading as something I'm not. So
no, I don't think I think that's totally fair. It's an interesting observation too. Like, and I kind of been thinking about it a little bit too. I don't think it's reflected in my work, so I think there's maybe a gap there. But like when I think about the t-shirts that I really like to wear, they usually are like the simpler shirts.
Yeah.
But then what I like to make is, sometimes it's a little much, So there's a bit of a gap there, and maybe I'm starting to kind of come to terms with that. We're all in the journey, So
yeah, totally.
Where you were 5-10 years ago and what you valued then, it just changes.
Yeah. Oh, does it? Yeah, it does a lot.
When it comes to pen and ink, then what are your main tools? Like, are you doing brush? Are you doing dip pens? I'm just kind of curious.
Nah, so I've been using one thing like forever, and that's this beauty here. It's a Rotring art pen with an.
Is that like a nib kind of feel?
It's just with a cartridge. It's just like the most basic stuff there is, but it's a very fine, extra fine tip, and it's wonderful. It does everything I want. I use now and then like the occasional like Micron, and I have the like Faber-Castell artist pen thingies, the pit ones or what they're called. But I'm not really like, I don't know a lot of I don't know very much about like tools or anything.
Yeah, everyone has their comfort place. You know what I mean?
I found that thing, and I think it works. And I'll stick with it till I'm sick of it, which might not happen. I hope.
I feel you. And then Bristol board as a surface primarily.
Oh no, I use like I don't know how you pronounce it. It's French, I think. The Canson, whatever that the paper, like I don't even know the weight of it, but it's grainy and heavy, and I like that.
Okay, cool.
Like I've heard the term Bristol board a lot. I don't really know what it is, to be honest.
It's still like paper. It's just they call it that. It's smoother though.
Oh, okay.
Like for me, like maybe to a detriment, I really like very smooth paper when I'm doing pen and ink stuff because I just like the feeling of it, like it gliding across.
Yeah.
And but then whenever I'm doing painting, I'm doing on watercolor paper, which is pretty textured. So I'm used to both, but Bristol board is just paper essentially.
Okay, that's crazy. Like I like that feeling as well, but I never use it for like a commission, and I've asked myself why. Because I like to draw with a ballpoint pen thingy, and I think it's a great feeling to draw on like tracing paper. Mm-hmm. And I've seen guys doing amazing stuff with that. I think Josh McAleer does some of his stuff is on that kind of paper. If I'm not,
well, it probably comes from tattooing.
I guess so, yeah.
Because a lot of tattooers work on the tracing paper and stuff.
And I think that looks amazing, but I can't get myself. Usually, when I get a commission, I do the same steps every time, and that's a thing with me. I need my routines and shit, or else I can't really work. But that's one thing I hope, like the same way I did it with the painting, to just like one time go for it, see if it works, and if it works, maybe try a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, the journey, as you said, it might never end.
No. You strike me as the type of person, kind of like myself, that like you're never going to be good enough. You just keep trying to get better. That's in some ways I've taken comfort in that. It's helped me remove ego as much as possible.
Yeah.
It's just like always find somebody better than you, and then just be like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I just show up every day.
I read an interesting quote about that, but I don't remember the exact words. I actually wanted to write that down. It's like something why we never really like the stuff we do, especially for me. I'm like not even imposter syndrome, but usually when I'm finished with the drawing, it goes into a drawer, and I might never take it out again. But it's like someone said, it's because everything we do looks like we did it, and we want to come to a point where it doesn't look like something we made, like completely detached from what's inside of us. And I don't think that's really possible. Maybe, I don't know. But
it also diminishes what makes it a Karmazid piece.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
I mean, I think about the same thing, I think I'm probably actually in the middle of that right now, of like thinking what is the right balance of like working purely off imagination with no reference, but then using reference as the jumping point to make a piece better. Mm-hmm. Like, because it's kind of like at a certain point, I think if you're really, really good, I would say people who lean more on imagination, once they have all those skills really, really tightened up, it ends up being a better piece. But you got to also know, where am I at? Maybe the reference really does make my work better, and I should, keep using that.
And I think it always depends. Like, if you're going for, it's like from piece to piece, does it have to have at least a vague air of realism to it? Like, if there's a person in it, does it have to look like kind of a human, or like the idea of a human being, something I have inside of my head? And yeah.
Well, that's what I like a lot about your work, is like you don't obsess about realism. Like you have this like flat graphic nature of your work, which first of all, it makes it really nice when it's printed, but it's also, it lends itself more to that iconic stuff.
Yeah, I think so too.
Um,
Thank you, by the way.
yeah, I mean, I only have positive things to say about your work. I remember, and this is before I was trying to even do a lot of like heavy metal illustration. I remember finding your work. It was actually some of your early paintings, like probably some of your first ones. It was like, there was like one that was like a demon suspended in a field that kind of looked like a medieval type stuff.
Oh yeah,
this is like 2021 or so.
Yeah.
I remember seeing your work and be like, if I could ever be as good as this dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like,
really, you talk about the one with the Windows XP background, right?
Yeah, I like that. I was like, because it's like a little bit of this off-kilter surrealism, but then there's like the medieval thing. I'm like, holy shit! Not only does this guy have a good imagination, but I think your execution's excellent. So
thank you, man.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a really big fan. Shit, what was I gonna say? I was curious. So, if you had like a range of being extremely calculated and highly organized and like very methodical with creating art, or completely spontaneous and like the paper's just in front of you and then the piece just magically comes out in like one session, where would you be in that range typically?
Like, there's no typically in that like it really jumps right over the scale from piece to piece. Like sometimes I sit down and it just like comes out like this, but sometimes I obsess over stuff, and I don't know. I try to find the perfect like construction of the whole thing, and it's usually the kind of stuff. I know there's I've written something down about that because you were asking about the customer experience. And sometimes you get people and they say, yeah, you have complete artistic freedom, which is like the worst thing for me to read in the commission email, because it's like on the one hand, it's like, okay, like I have to do all the research. I have to try to get into your headspace, trying to find out what would work for you or for your project or whatever. And on the other hand, it's like, if I don't have any reference point of where to go from, it's just like it blocks my brain, and I try to find that, and then I have one idea maybe at a random moment, and trying to get that on the paper and then make it fit to the thing, and also still unique, and also looking a bit like the stuff I usually do. It's a fucking nightmare, man. So it's it's really depends on the commission in a way.
Well, I feel kind of to that point too. It's like the worst case is when it's somebody who has a clear idea of what they want, but then they're telling you because they want to sound cool. Oh, just do whatever you want, man. That's the worst nightmare, because it's like, and
I feel like that they think they are doing us a favor.
Yeah,
but it's not. It really isn't. Like and it's never like real freedom, because if I would just do what I wanted to do, like 100% sure they would say, yeah, that's a nice drawing, but we can't use that. And I say, yeah, damn, then fucking tell me what you want. And I don't have that a lot, and it's never like I'm angry at the people. It's just like, you can give me directions. I actually prefer that. I feel like the more you have to work within certain boundaries, the more interesting your stuff gets there.
Definitely. It's like one or the other. If it truly is, you can do whatever you want, like truly, then it's like, okay, I'm doing a personal piece.
Yeah.
You know, if you like set it in your mind that way. But I mean, for you, I totally get that. So what does the ideal client experience look like for you then?
So the ideal client experience is like, you tell me exactly what you want. You give me references, ideally from my stuff and some other stuff you like, and then I'll tell you, I've seen all that, but don't expect me to do the exact thing you're asking me for. And if you're fine with that, if you want my interpretation of your ideas and your concept, we can work. If not, it's gonna be a problem, I feel, because I can't really do a lot of revisions because of the whole ink stuff, and also because I don't like, my sketching is very, very rough. I don't sketch out a full piece. It's like I'm like more blocking in a way. Like, here's a thing, and the rest happens when I'm drawing. So it's like I have to explain my idea with a rough sketch. But I've seen people like drawing the full piece, like with
Too much time.
Yeah, not even that. It's too much time. But I feel like I gotta have a little bit of fun at least. And if I'm drawing the same thing twice, I don't know. It's kind of boring. And then I lose interest in the whole thing. If I've seen it already in a way, I want, like, usually I have like a kind of a hazy image in my mind of the thing I want to do, and I want to be surprised by the way it comes out. And if I already basically know it, it's not that interesting to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I totally get that. I guess because of this process, it seems like that ideal client experience almost seems more framed with how you approach pen and ink. Are you fairly careful with what painting commissions you take on because there's so much exploration and figuring out as you go? Whereas with the pen and ink, you kind of know roughly what it's going to turn out to, and then you're just kind of working towards that.
Yeah, but I always tell people that I'm like, I haven't been painting for too long, and that I don't really know a lot about it, and that it will take very long. So usually, if you agree to all of that, I usually do it because I love the painting stuff. It's just that I getting to what I want to achieve with that. It's like, I think I should paint with oils because I still want to blend the colors and stuff, and I can do it with acrylics a little bit, but it's never the way I want it to look, like 100%.
Yeah.
But I can't be fucked to start learning to use oils, like, with all the, that's too much overhead in a way.
The fumes, like, and all that shit too.
Nah, I can't do that. One day maybe.
No, I know what you mean. Trying to think of what to ask. So rough sketch, approval of sketch, penciling. You show back to the client then, and then inking. Is that typical idea, or are you just rough sketch and then just go all the way?
Yes. That's usually the thing. And I've also stopped sending progress pics because it gives too much. I don't know. Sounds kind of douchey, I think, but like, last minute changes, or even if they're not really last minute, it always feels like that takes away from the thing I want to do. And once I'm confident about the thing I want to illustrate, I don't think the opinion of the people commissioning me, it never really makes it better. It's just like, sometimes I feel it's like, okay, I'm gonna tell him to change this little thing just because. Right. I don't know, but
because they want to have a say. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. But yeah, in general, like, I show the finished thing before I scan it, and that should be it in the ideal case. Yeah.
I mean, I think as long as you just speak up and tell people what it typically looks like and why, I mean, they sign off on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't think anything you're saying is douchey or out of turn. It's just expectations on both sides, you know? Because if it's a band that's like very controlling is the wrong word though. Let's just say very precious about their image and exactly what it all looks like, but then you're valuing freedom, you guys just might not be the right fit. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I've had that a couple of times, right. Like, even fairly deep into a drawing. A drawing. And then I just say it's like, it's not worth going on. It's it just makes things awkward for both of us, and And at the point when I feel like this little feeling inside of me where I might get angry about the whole thing, then the outcome won't be as good, and I won't feel good about it anyway. So yeah, might just rather drop it. But it's usually like people know what my stuff looks like. It's not like there'll be a huge surprise in there. It's basically it's not like that that everything is the same. There's some variety here and there, but like overall, you know what to expect. So that's if the problem starts there, I'm the wrong guy, and there's no problem with that. I mean, there's some bands I think my stuff wouldn't even work with. Like I've had that before when I said that I'm not really sure I'm the guy you're looking for. It goes contrary to most of your the vibe you're trying to get across, and
I mean, I can totally agree. I mean, that's the other thing too, is like you could say that a lot of people who work in the metal scene, illustrators, there's not as much diversity, but the way I see it is just heavy music overall. There's a ton of different ways you can go with the imagery. There's the folks who specialize in more graphic design and photo manipulation. That's not what I do. It's not what you do, but it's like that's a style that bands want to commission. And the same with like highly rendered digital album covers. Those artists are extremely skilled at what they do. It's just is it the right fit, you know?
Yeah. And I think there is also in like the underground scene at this point there's a lot of variety. Like there's people doing incredible stuff on every level of where you'd go for like a death metal band that only plays for 10 people or whatever, some big signed mainstream kind of thing. So I think it's not like it's a rare thing to find the artist you'd like. And I've also quite a lot I like send people to other artists I know, because I think this would just look better than what I do.
Makes sense. What would be maybe like a misconception that perhaps the public has about being a visual artist? So maybe let's just say metal fans, when they look at the album art, the t-shirts and stuff, what's maybe something that you think they don't think about and what happens with it?
I think a common misconception is that we get rich from doing that.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard people thinking that like, oh, you have a certain amount of followers on social media and I've seen your stuff in a record store somewhere across the world. That must mean you have money, and I can tell you very firmly that's not the case. And that's one thing. The other thing, I don't know. I never really thought about that too much. What do you think?
I think the money thing is definitely big. Like probably the biggest lesson I've learned through this show is that some of the artists who I've thought were like the biggest ever, they still have jobs outside of this.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think for me, it's more like once I realized that my goal, if I look back like even 4 or 5 years ago, there's part of me that's like, I got to get out of the corporate grind and I got to figure out how to make this full time. And then you would think that through the show, making more connections and stuff, I'd actually get closer to that. I feel like I'm farther than ever because I've accepted that your worth as an artist isn't measured by if you do it full time or not. To me, it's like, I think we should I hate the word fucking normalize, but like we should make it very okay that you can create the art that you want with the bands that you get along with really well, and then still have a job. And it's not like this thing that drives you insane and burns you out. So that's the biggest misconception I have, is that there's a lot of people in the scene, especially in the underground, just like underground bands. They do it and they make money, but so it's not just a hobby, but it's not full time because cost of living now, I imagine in Germany, definitely in the US, is really high.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It is. And I've been doing this full time now for I think 6 or 7 years. Not really sure. And it definitely is it's a thing that keeps you up at night. Like I don't know. Sometimes it is rough, and you can always like. I almost said sell prints, but I think we both know that people always want prints, and once
Yeah,
you have them, they don't seem to want them anymore. And I'm also very, very, very bad at like I'm bad at all business parts of the whole thing. Like talking about money is a fucking nightmare to me, and the whole packing stuff and bringing it to the post office. Like for some reason, it's too weirdly too much for me. I know there's a lot of mental health shit involved in there. I've been trying to work on, but yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. Like to. I mean, I guess there's guys who can live from that, doing it full time and have like a comfortable life with luxury and shit. And I think that's great because it's not. Why should this be worth less than a fucking email job somewhere or whatever, you know? But
I mean, the amount of skill to get where you need to be to do that, yeah, it should deserve decent living for sure.
And I also get it. You can't, if it's a small band, and how much can they really pay for a thing like that? If they just like, if it's only for a SoundCloud thumbnail or whatever, or if they print like 100 CDs, or sure they can't pay like huge amounts, and I get that, and I wouldn't ask that, but it's like, yeah, there's kind of like a disconnect between the amount of work that goes into that, and you sometimes have to ask yourself, it's like, is it worth it for them even to commission a huge piece like that for the exposure it'll get? And I mean, like, I think it's a great feeling if you're a band to have artwork you paid for, but sometimes, yeah, like I know when people talk to me that it's like, I think you shouldn't do that. Like, I would love to take your money and work on that, but I don't know if we're
not gonna get the return.
Yeah, if we're both really happy with it afterwards, but yeah.
I think that's really cool, man. I mean, you're looking out for people in either way. Shit, I had a thought, but I'm blanking on it. Oh, well, I was just curious, like, so 6 years full time, but you've been creating art in the scene for at least like 12 years, right?
Yeah, I think it's 12 or 13 years now. Yeah, and I've been working a regular day job for the first half of it, which was not great. Like the job, not really, and like coming home and like getting to the point where I'm now, it didn't come overnight. Like I've been drawing for hours and hours every day, and that doesn't make too much sense in the long run. If you come home from work like 10 hours or something, and then you sit down immediately, start drawing way too late into the night, wake up and do the same shit again.
Hard.
Yeah. So it's, at one point I had to say, okay, I make basically the same amount of money with the drawing shit that I do with my day job, and I should be able to live with only one part of that. And so I said, yeah, fuck it, let's try it. And I never regretted it, even though sometimes, yeah, keeps one up at night. But it is what it is. I think it's I've been talking to my best friend about this yesterday, actually. It's like I feel there has to be, maybe that's a romantic, weird ideal, but I feel like there has to be a certain amount of struggle for an artist. Just like, that's the, I don't know if that's influenced by media or something, but if you're fully confident and happy and you have everything you want, I don't think you're an artist. You like,
I mean, I don't know any artists who think that way, so yeah, I'd probably agree. Right. Even if on paper it seems like things are going well for you, which I would want for people from a humanitarian standpoint.
Yeah.
There's always going to be some inner battle. There always is in some
Absolutely.
capacity.
I feel like that's the people picking up art, if it's music or whatever, or drawing. These are most likely the people that are already carry around some stuff within themselves.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, that's maybe also like a stereotype, but I feel like most artists I know, there's something wrong, but not in a bad way. But sometimes maybe in a bad way. I think there's something wrong with me in a bad way as well, but it's like, I don't think it really, I feel like it's almost a prerequisite to do that stuff and to be obsessed with it in the way we have to be to make it a job.
There's a line though. So like maybe you have that internal fascination, obsession with art, and it's all you can think about, and you carry around some baggage because society has plenty of pain points to draw from. But I'd say most people make their best work when they find healthy ways of dealing with that. It's never going to fully go away, because if you completely spiral out, it's not like all of a sudden you're going to create masterpieces in most cases. Maybe, fucking, Francisco de Goya with the black paintings at the end of his death, like that's an example of like, okay, you created some really cool shit here, but I don't know. That's where you're saying is like, there's like the romantic aspect, but then there is also the realism aspect of like, what's going to make you a better person too.
Yeah. I wish I knew.
Well, I think you're doing just fine, man. Overall.
I'm trying.
So as a fan of art, what do you wish an art fan as well as a metal fan, what do you wish you saw more visually in the metal scene?
Oh, I think I wrote something down here as well. Somewhere. Well, it basically comes back to what we've been discussing earlier. I'd like to see a return to like simplicity in a way. That doesn't have to mean you have to tone down on what you're doing, but I feel like it's also the other thing I've been saying, the restrictions, like in earlier days, they made for more interesting, more striking visuals in a way. Like some of the old underground black metal shirts or flyers or anything. It's like it's not Xerox to death to achieve a certain look. It had to be that way. And I feel like if you can translate that kind of mindset into what you're doing now, I think that would make a lot of stuff more interesting. And I don't really want to criticize like other illustrators.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, I do, but I don't want to do it on air. I feel like a lot of people. How do I put that? Especially in shirt designs or poster designs, it sometimes goes too far and it's too distracting from the thing itself. And I don't know. Yeah, for some reason, I really want to see more bold, striking, weird shit that kind of sticks with you. Like I've seen the same stuff in a million variations, like a million times. And there's certain labels you can put their records in front of me without the logo on it. I couldn't fucking tell you who it is. Like could be anything. There's no language. There's no like I don't know, a red line to it all. And I think that it's I kind of like when stuff has a certain place, a certain language, a message even. Like it doesn't have to be a message, but just like this is the way I want it to look. This is it's just in your face, and not I have to go to a shirt and look at it like this and try to figure out what even is going on. So yeah, that's the thing I'd love to see more of. And I think it's happening, and it's happening in other scenes as well. I've seen like in some punk or oi hardcore stuff, people are going that way. But that's also, I've seen a lot of the stuff repeating itself with like doing it too ignorant to a point that it's like, I'm fucking over it. So you're toning yourself down so much, and I know you could do better, and I think you could do better, and it would still be amazing without you having to reduce your output to a thing you think would work and would look more rough and raw and brutal, and I don't know.
I see your point. I mean, a lot of what you're saying too is not only rooted in like the aesthetics, but also just like art fundamentals. I mean, art fundamentals are also saying simplify basically at any time.
I mean, I'm guilty of that as well. Sometimes I go over the top with like decoration-y stuff, which doesn't really help the thing all too much. And sometimes I just go over it, I look at it and I say, nah, fuck it, and I take the fattest adding I have and just black out certain parts of it just so, it's more basic.
Sometimes you got to do that though, but totally know what you mean. It's interesting though too, is because you kind of get, you might think that that's better, but then the engagement that you receive, which is via social media, I'm not saying you particular, I'm saying as an artist overall, the engagement that you receive, you might get way more like positive praise about a highly detailed, highly rendered thing, but you're like, fuck, I kind of hate it. So it's like you got a little bit of a gap there, which musicians have to deal with that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Probably even more so, frankly.
Yeah.
This isn't as raw as the first record.
Yeah.
Or you're doing the same shit over and over again. It's like, can't have it both ways.
That's actually one of the reasons I kind of put my music project to rest, because like when I started doing music, it was also like maybe 5 years ago. I didn't know all that much about writing songs. I just learned the instruments then, and my first couple of releases are like very raw because of that. And I enjoyed that more because that was more what I wanted to go for. Like, despite me being like, I'm 43 now, which is not really the point where you start making music and still be like, oh, this is so fresh to me and a new experience and sound like that. But just to emulate that feeling, I went all in without knowing all too much about it. And over the years, not over the years, it's not been that long, but like I recorded my final record now, and I feel like it's already I'm too self-conscious about like songwriting now, and that's not really where I wanted this thing to go. So I said, this one, and then it's over. I might do another thing with a different name or whatever, but
it started becoming a little too serious.
Yeah,
that's a little bit of the fun.
Yeah.
I don't recall. I was looking through your Instagram, and you had at some point kind of done like a little bit of like a DIY showing of your art locally. And I was just kind of curious to learn a little bit more about that, and just kind of like, I don't know. I just think it's cool. You know, you find a establishment that you align on values, I imagine, and then it's like, all right, let's do this. So I was kind of curious how that came to be.
Well, the great part is this is like a small gallery shop kind of thingy, and it's like a non-profit organization running it, and my wife started it, and a friend of hers, and I'm on the board now as well. Haven't been when I did that, but that was like the only real way to get me to do an exhibition. Is like if I don't have to deal with any bureaucracy or limitations or anything, just like it's basically been my second living room for a while now, and I could just go there and go nuts and like have some bands play and all that shit without it being this is an art thing with art people like looking over your shoulders, and yeah, that was great. And like a lot of great people came around, and the gallery is like pretty close to a venue in our city, and like John Baisley came around, looked at my
Oh hell yeah.
exhibition. Yeah, Martin from Terror, the Spell, and Angel Witch guys came, and that was fucking amazing.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Were they just touring and then it just happened to work out?
Yeah, actually, it's just like coincidence. But like in the month I had the thing running, they just all came around and I said, "Yeah, fuck yeah, let's do this." And yeah, that's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Want to shift to showing some art in just a minute. But I was kind of curious, like, where you're at now. Who would you say are some of your biggest like influences, or just what are some artists you might want to shout out?
I have a list. It's not a Mount Rushmore because I can't just name 4.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys like you know the typical classic illustrators like Aubrey Beardsley and all that stuff. I don't even want to mention them because I think that's pretty obvious. But I like there's a I think it's an Italian guy, Alberto Martini. Don't know if you've heard of him. I love his shit. Leonora Carrington, obviously. Ian Miller, Mike Mignola, H.R. Giger. But from the contemporary guys, there's some people I'd like to mention. Lena Richter. I'm pretty sure you know her, right? From Germany.
Lena Richter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
great.
Incredible. Yeah. And she should be way more known than she is. She also did the art for my first record. And yeah, great person as well. Then Brittany Seprofile, she's been on your show as well. She's constantly blowing my mind with her stuff, and I can't even imagine where she starts doing that and how it ends up the way it looks. It's fucking crazy. David Klomba, great guy. Lupe Vasconcelos is great. Richard Williams, you know him?
No.
He painted the cover for my second EP. He's from England, and he does insane stuff. Like he builds little clay versions of this stuff he draws.
Mm-hmm.
Then he takes a picture of it, and then he does the painting. So it all has awesome. It has an amazing sense of like
light and shadow
and lighting. It's incredible. Like it's nothing like I've seen before. It's always a little weird and a little esoteric, and really great. You should. I'm gonna send you a link later. And Christian Dane, of course. Shout out to my Night Rain crew. My good friend Synod Matze, also playing in Grabunhold. My best friend Marek Bäuerlein does amazing abstract paintings. And I think that's about it. Like there's a million others, and I love them all. Oh yeah! Oh damn! This one. I asked him to tell me how to pronounce its name. It's Grolak.
Oh yeah, he's great. His work's really good.
It's insane. Like he has such an insane range of painting and drawing, and no two things look the same. It's fucking amazing. Like also a guy I wish I would see more in the spotlight. But
yeah, he's a bit on the underground now. But I've been following his stuff, and I'm like, yeah, this guy's really damn good.
Yeah,
totally agreed. And great list. And for the folks who have been on Heavy Art Talk that you mentioned, all good people, and I can totally vouch for them, not only just like art wise, but like cool people, which that matters in my opinion. So let's pivot to some art. So what I usually get out of this is we could talk about the technical stuff behind each piece, maybe like obstacles you had to overcome, but also if there's any interesting stories with like how it worked with the band or anything like that. So I had this one picked first. Looks like we got the original and then like a slightly colored digitally version.
Yeah.
Go ahead and kick it off for me. And if it's helpful, you can go full screen, both for the audience and for yourself, if that makes it easier to see the details.
How do I do that?
There's a little, the little square with the cropping kind of thing in the corner. So in the little...
That's okay. I can work with that, I think. Yeah, that one, I can't really say all that much about it. That was like a thing of you have artistic freedom. Here's some rough ideas. It was like about mind, spirit, body, and like cosmic void kind of thingy, star child. And that was basically a thing I had in mind for a while, like the that mandorla kind of shape, and with the slight Sumerian elements up there with the wings. Yeah, the worst part about that was doing that fucking vortex there on the floor.
Imagine.
So that is a nightmare. And I had to look up how to construct a thing like that. And I winged parts of it. I think you can see if you look real close, but still kind of happy the way it turned out, because I was at a point with the bottom part of that where I thought I just can't do it. I will make it a night sky and be done with it. But then I forced myself, and I'm glad I did, actually.
It's really unique, and like I think it wouldn't be as iconic if you had extended the sky all the way. I'm glad you
think so too.
fought through it.
And I rarely, which is a thing I usually try to avoid. I've been doing it a bit more, but like I'm never really satisfied with, okay, this is the color of the paper, and this is just one line. Like it has no different strength in it. It's like the same thickness everywhere. And this is one of the first ones I did where I just drew it as it is, with one straight line. And I think that also gives it that kind of, it kind of doesn't belong there. It looks too technical in a way for the rest of the stuff. But I think that's kind of what makes it interesting, I guess. I hope so, at least.
No, I agree. I think it's really neat. And for that same reason. Now, you've mentioned to me before you're not really big into technology and stuff. So is basically coloring in line work like flat? Is that kind of like the extent of what you do? Yeah. Or do you know a little more than that?
No. I have an insanely old version of Photoshop on my machine. It's the one you got for free from the Adobe site, and it's not even there anymore. It's been like 12 years, I think. And I basically can do what I need to do with that thing. If I ever lose this laptop it's on, and I can't use that anymore, I might be lost, truly. Because I've seen like how the newer versions look, and I'm really bad at stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this is just like I make it. There's 2 layers, and I color the one, and if I think it looks good, I go with it. Yeah.
I imagine you probably do it the similar way that. So, just for people know, I'm very similar to Karmazid in that I don't really know the technical platforms that well. I just know kind of what's possible. My wife is a graphic designer, and she helps me out with a lot of the digitization stuff. Yeah. So I got a good arrangement there, and I'm very grateful. If for some reason she's decided this is the one episode she's going to listen to, there you go. It's also my anniversary, so happy anniversary.
Oh, congrats.
So my point, if you do end up getting a new computer, I know how to do this process in like 4 clicks. So I know a very simple way of doing it. That might be identical to what you're doing, but
sounds amazing.
Yeah, it'll keep it simple for you. What year was this roughly? Do you remember?
Oh, I think 2019 to 20.
Okay. Would you, if you're like kind of analyzing yourself, like, so like 2013 would be like early Karmazid, this would be like mid Karmazid, and then there's like what you're doing now. Would you kind of like categorize it that way, or is this still basically what you're doing now?
This is basically what I'm doing now, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's some stuff, looking at it now, I would surely improve in a way or other. But overall, I think, this is kind of the look I'm going for. So, yeah.
It doesn't seem removed. I'm just curious, like, the artist's mind is different than the audience.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah. But that's one of the rare ones I'm still very happy with. Like, it's not rare, me being happy with the art, but like imposter syndrome and all that shit, you sometimes look at it and you find some tiny stuff and you think everyone sees that and thinks I'm a fraud. And
I know the feeling.
And
for the starry figure, were you using white paint pen or gel pen, or is it just black in between?
Yeah, I'm very dogmatic about that kind of stuff. This is all just like I draw tiny circles and then black it out in between.
Do you have a problem with paint pens, or you just don't like to do them for yourself?
But I can always tell if someone uses a white pen for that kind of stuff. I can always tell. I don't think anyone else can or even cares.
Yeah.
But that's a thing. Like as I said, I sketch out the raw shape of the of that figure there, and I don't think I would get it the way I wanted it to look without just going for it. That way.
Yeah.
Because I go with the flow of the body parts and the organic shit, and I don't think I would get the same thing, because sometimes you have to embrace the chaos. Sometimes the circle isn't really circly enough, so you just kind of take away part of it, and then you see, it's kind of okay that there's a bit of a black spot over there, and maybe I should space them out a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can only work that way, weirdly enough. Just like some
if it isn't broken, don't fix it. So it looks good to me, man.
Weird self-imposed torture in a way, but
All right, how about these two?
Yeah. Well, the left one is a bit of it's not really a sore spot. I still really like it, and it was there was a commission by, let me think, it's Warner Media, I think, for a band called, help me out there. They've been they've been playing the Olympics in France, and people were freaking out. Yeah, exactly. And
that's a big band for you, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know. I don't think I've ever listened to one of their songs. But they basically gave me a lot of freedom, and I looked at their other stuff, and they gave me a song title, and for some reason I thought, like this weird kind of cloak thingy and some Art Nouveau shit would look great. And they never used it, which is kind of, I don't know, like, I don't care about the band, but that, I don't know, maybe it would have been
That's the thing with the big bands, man, is they'll commission all these artists and then they just pick and choose what they want. And, I mean, look, they have the power to do it, but it's like, it is kind of annoying when it's like, fuck, that would really help my portfolio.
Mm-hmm. That was kind of the thing. Like, it's always cool to drop a name like that. Not that I care all that much about it, but because I think I have my audience, and like, I don't think I need to break into like a genre I'm not interested in at all. And for them, it's like, if your label commissions me and I kind of suspect they didn't even know about it or know about me.
They probably
That means,
didn't.
that means like you don't really have a connection to the whole thing, and that makes me care very little about the whole thing. But I still like the piece. So yeah, that's that.
I think it's like that really good balance of highly readable, iconic, but there's enough detail that it has visual interest, but it's also simple. Like it toes that line like perfectly.
Thank you.
What about this on the right?
Yeah, this is fun story. The opening of my exhibition I had my nephew's band playing there, and one of my friends got a little drunk and he started a mosh pit, and there was a bunch of beer and energy drink and all that good shit on the floor, and one of the guys he was moshing with, they hit the wall. This thing fell to the ground. The frame broke, and it landed like with the drawing in the soup.
Oh,
so
God.
that thing is it's dead, which is like, it happens. Like I wouldn't want it any other way. It's still kind of sad because I really like that thing. It's the kind of stuff I rarely get to do these days, which is like, this is basically the amount of freedom I like. I have a vague idea of what the people want. There's a theme to their stuff I'm familiar with, and I can basically just go for it. It's like the only thing I did there with kind of an idea was like drawing the lines of the pyramid thingy and the circles, and the rest is just like purely going for it, like almost automatic drawing.
Stream of consciousness, doodle kind of style, yeah.
Exactly.
So do you, if you're trying to look at it from an outside perspective, is it because you enjoy creating this stuff so much that you love how it looks, or do you love how it looks and it was a fucking joy to make? Like, because it's so different, you know?
Yeah, it's both in a way. I enjoy the process of doing that because you don't know where you end up with it. There's always another thing you find that you can add, and with those ones, it's you shouldn't overdo it, but finding that little piece that connects everything, that's a great feeling, I think. And yes, and I like the look of it because it's because I pretty much think I see something in there that maybe other people see or don't see, and it's to me it has a meaning in a way, because I also do a lot of like purely ritualistic drawings that I would never like put on social media or something. It's just like personal stuff with that I do in terms of like spiritual work or stuff. And this is the closest I get to doing that for a commission, and so it feels like it's a very familiar feeling. It's it has a sort of like ritualistic energy to it, to me, that that I enjoy very much.
Interesting. What about these two? So is this like older work? I've never seen this before.
The one on the left was meant as a commission for the band of a friend of mine, and I started doing it, and like I think 15 hours in, you didn't see anything on there, and I said, I can't fucking do that. Like, if I would be fair to myself and to you, you wouldn't be able to afford that, and I can't just do it because we're friends in a way, you know. And like, I stopped doing that thing, made another one which fits much more for the record they put out, And then I spent a lot of my free time and time between drawing, finishing that thing. It's one of might be my favorite drawing of my drawings.
Really?
Because it's like a, I don't know, I always find it that's only a handful of people, I would say, you could take their work and put it into like some sort of religious or occult kind of book or something. It's like, oh man, I also asked him how to pronounce his name because I am an idiot. Jose Alegria, you know him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I've heard the name, yeah.
Yeah. Like his stuff is like insanely close to like the drawings of AOS or Chumbly or really deeply spiritual stuff. And to me, for myself, with the way I can judge my own stuff, which is not always easy for me, this is the one thing that is to me so full of meaning and like that kind of religious energy that I sometimes struggle with because it's tough to say. Like there's a certain simplicity and like if you want to convey that sort of meaning, you have to take away a lot of like window dressing. You don't want it to be like, I know Roman Catholic stuff is always full of details and decoration and shit, and it helps kind of convey that feeling they want to convey. Yeah, for me, this is the one thing that has the most like spiritual meaning, I feel. Yeah, it's hard for me to talk about that stuff. I rarely talk about like spiritual stuff to other people because it's mostly a personal thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one I do like a lot, as well as the one on the right, which was also like a thing where the amount of freedom was exactly what I wanted. The guys told me it's got to be about fear and feeling overwhelmed by stuff, and was, I think, one of the first ones I did all the, man, who was it who called it the mozzarella, pulled mozzarella in the
that was fucking
Matt
Sticker, yeah.
I think so, yeah. What a fucking great episode. Still, like, when I heard Mark Riddick talking about my stuff in that way, that still is kind of blowing my mind.
Well, you got the whole panel being like, yeah, this guy's one of the fucking best. I gotta do something like that again, man.
That was fucking insane because, like, it also felt like, you know, people tell you you're good and they tell you what they like about your stuff.
Yeah.
But this really sounded like maybe the first time ever someone described what he saw in that, like, in a way I want to be seen, if that makes any sense. Totally. So that was fucking crazy. I'm still getting energy from that one. But yeah, back to that thing. I also like that one because it's weird, and that's also the one that got the attention of Jonathan from Kadabra Records.
Okay.
Which is yeah.
You've done quite a bit of work with them. A lot of paintings.
Yes, I did.
It's like I hear everything you're saying, and I totally see it. It's so interesting because these two in particular look so different than what I expect from you. And maybe that's why you love them so much too.
They don't look like my stuff, basically.
There's like a tad more like Giger influence. Not that it looks like it's not even close, but like there's a little more.
Absolutely. The one on the left is like, it's all, I don't do stippling. But on this one, I don't think there's one single line drawn. It's just like one fucking dot after the other. And it was torture, but at least I'm happy with it. If I would have done that thing and it would have looked like shit, I think I'd fucking destroyed all my pens and never do anything again.
That's awesome, man. I love hearing about that. This is a little bit of that too, you know, with some of that stippling.
That was when I still had patience for stippling. That was like split record for one band is buddies of mine. It was like a vampire theme, and I just wanted to kind of go for a different vibe than the usual cloaked, sharp teeth, bad kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I love this one because it's got like the graphic elements, but then it has those really cool gradients with some like lighter gray and values. This one also, it's like it doesn't look like what I typically think, but there's a little more of like that.
Yeah.
The graphic illustrator part of what you do personally is what like really blows my mind. Like because you have such good sense of flow, composition. And also I have a difficult time fighting getting a wide value range. So when I see you do something with high contrast and I just have so much power and confidence, I'm like, I just love it.
Took me a while, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those two. The one on the left is basically one of those semi-automatic kind of things where I have one kind of shape I go from, and the rest basically just happens. There was the skull, and I drew a rough sketch of it, and the rest I just let like basically happen. I'm for these sigilly kind of things up there. That's usually I let the band give me some lyrics or what are the themes, what are your inspirations, what do you believe in, whatever, and I just let that kind of dictate what I'm doing there. It's not like planned out. There's no I don't know. I don't do sketches for it or something. It just has to appear, or it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if sigils are really my thing or interests, so I don't know much about them. What sources do you draw upon to create sigils? Like even just like in your own interpretation.
I know. I feel like there's it's also a weird limitation, but I think there's a certain cutoff point in terms of fonts maybe you use for that, but you over the years you've seen a bunch of that stuff like on records, and I also have a bunch of books on the topic. So it obviously is inspired by like Spare and Chumpley and I don't know, Crowley, whatever. And yeah, it's weird. You at a point you don't like try to go for what they are doing. You just know there has to be a certain kind of meaning to it, the way they are connected, the way the overall shape is gonna be, what goes where, and yeah, then you just have to let it happen. That's basically and I kind of don't want to know more about it. Like if there's any rhyme or reason to it, that would kind of defeat the point, I think. So it just stay.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. What about this one on the right? Really solid design.
Yeah, that was for an Irish band for like some Friday the 13th release, I think, or Halloweenish thingy. But yeah, that was a thing I've never done before, like with that the cat being like usually my stuff is more or less white with a black background.
Right.
This one is the complete opposite, but yeah, for some reason I had that shape in my head, and for once it came out more or less exactly the way I wanted it to be. Yeah,
It's just
one of the ones I like.
it's awesome.
Thank
I
you.
think the other thing too that I love, I mean, obviously you do everything by hand on paper, so there's no copy paste. So
No,
the one skull on the left is balanced in a similar size to the one on the right. So like there's logic behind it, but they're different
Yeah.
skulls.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking tempting for some people to just copy and paste skulls.
Yeah.
And like I look at that shit and I'm like, I know you're saving time, but it's like, man, it looks so much cooler when you got something that's not exactly symmetrical.
Yeah. Symmetry is nice and all, but there always has to be a little bit of a disturbance in there to catch your eye. I feel that's like what I'm looking for in stuff, and yeah, it's also like that's another weird dogmatic kind of thing for me that I could never use like the same thing twice because it's easy, because it kind of defeats me having fun with it. It's like I've done that before. Why would I waste my time doing it again?
Yeah, 100%. All right, so these are a couple ones that I put in the deck that I wanted to chat about. Paintings, of course, and then you know, they're ones with bands that people know quite well. Anything about the process or the end result or anything you'd want to share?
As I said, I know so little about painting that I have to kind of try to get where I want to go, like every time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. It's just like the one on the left. I basically we had the rough outline. It was about some kind of old school looking thing with demons and dragons and skull and a castle and stuff. And yeah, just usually I take the canvas, I put a layer of black paint on it, and then I basically just go nuts. I do rough shapes in a bit of a lighter color on it, and then I go in for the details. And yeah,
that's
the one
an
on the
interesting
right,
thing, though. Starting from black and working up, a lot of people that are underpainting would be more like sepia or something. And I mean it from like a place that it's like it's more signature. It's cool that you're doing that, you know.
I don't actually even know why I started this, and now I just do it every time. Maybe it would be easier to go for something else, but it feels like I want a certain dark, shady feeling to it all, and it's easier to like work with that in the background as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really really tough for me to talk about the painting stuff because it's so. I still feel like it's so out of my league. Like I see actual painters on social media and stuff, and I think like I don't even want to know what they think when they look at my stuff because it's like yeah, they
Well,
know.
I think they like it because it's different, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I
And I think
I mean I get what you're saying. It's just like I think you got the respect of your peers in painting for sure, brother.
I think like maybe the ignorant part about it is what kind of makes it work, because that stuff I also enjoy. If it comes from a place of honesty and not like I try to make it look a certain way, so it looks that way because I wouldn't know how to do it any other way, and I still obviously try to do my best. But yeah, I'm usually kind of happy with the paintings I do. Like not with every drawing, but with the paintings. Usually, I spend so much time with them that I might think that I would get sick of them, but yeah, I rarely do for some weird reason.
That's good. I mean, yeah, it seems like you work through it all. Shit, there was some other thing I was gonna say. Now you did mention that sometimes these can take a while. So,
Yeah.
what roughly is like the timeline that it took to make either one of these?
I couldn't say. It's like my the room I paint isn't the room I draw in. Like in our we built a little guest room in our attic. At least it was meant like that. And now it's where I store all my prints and stuff, and where I do my drawing. And I just go there in the morning, like first thing, and I spend a bunch of time there, and then I go down to draw. And I can't really say how much. It's a fucking long time. Like especially when the moment I think I'm done, that's when like the worst part begins. And I feel like, oh, I don't think you're done, brother. And then I see this thing, and I can't let it look like that. Which also means sometimes I think, okay, I'm gonna draw over this thing just a tiny bit, which means I fuck it all up and have to start basically half of the thing again. Which is like, that's just, it's all my fault. If I know I could like maybe read up on some stuff like that, but if I feel like if there's not a certain amount of like trying to overcome the stuff I don't know, it doesn't feel. I feel like I lose interest in stuff the moment I really know what I do. Not that there's a lot of things in my life where that is the case, but yeah, especially with art-related stuff, I feel like the less I know about certain techniques or the way other people do it, the more interesting it stays for me. You know,
spoken like a true self-taught artist. You know, dude. I'm the same way. I would say I'm the same way for a long time, but now I've kind of like shifted to be almost the opposite, and maybe to my own detriment. But like, it's such a weird balance because being self-taught and like what you're saying leads to that unique style, and that's what's made you successful. You say, and I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to like kind of my own observation. But when I find that I hit a wall, if I just open up my mind and learn from other people, then I can break through the wall. It's the hardest thing is when you hit that wall through the self-taught way. The thing is, I don't think you've hit that. So I'm not trying to project anything on you. I'm just thinking like that's the dichotomy you got to kind of work through.
I mean, I know there's some walls and some stuff that keeps me from doing certain things. Like I struggle with perspective, and like especially when it comes to geometry and roomy kind of stuff and architecture. And I wish I was I'd know how to do it. And I think it would be very, very easy to just look it up. But then I think I'd just rather try it, and if it doesn't work, then it's not the right thing to do at that moment. Just I don't know. It's the shit you tell yourself to justify. I don't know if it's laziness or unwillingness to go somewhere you feel uncomfortable.
That's on the eye of the beholder. You know, only you know the answer to that. For me, it's usually out of a point of just being just being like okay with it. And I'm not even gonna. This isn't fucking about me. We'll move on. I'm already talking too much shit. It's just an interesting dialogue that I think every artist goes through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you never know what's really the right path because there's always trade-offs. All right, 2 more.
Yeah.
Anything? Go ahead.
The one on the left. Also, this is like there's certain of these automatic hypersigilly kind of things in there, but this one's been more sketched out before. At least like the shape of the snake and the demon head with the body inside. That if that wouldn't have been like kind of anatomically correct, it wouldn't have worked for me at least. So yeah, that's a mixture of all that, which I feel like sometimes has a place because it gives it more like a weirdly that's a word for it. I don't know, but I enjoy doing stuff like that. Like I always do the construction parts first, and then the freestyly thing, because then I know if I mess it up, it's really gonna suck.
Right.
So that kind of puts me under that certain amount of pressure I need for that, and helps me get into that headspace too. Like these are the words in the circle. It's parts of the name of the album and song titles and the overall theme, like translated into the flow, the ink that reacts to these kinds of thoughts. And the one on the right, that is basically my most mozzarella pull thing.
I love it. It's awesome, dude.
Thank you. It's like there's obviously a bit of a Giga vibe to it, and also Drouillet in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I really want to do like a human shape, but translated into a weird kind of texture or pattern or something. And
what's that? It's that balance of like the flow and the graphic elements, but then also like, I want to say realism. It's just like it's more rendered out, you know?
Yeah.
It's like both of these right here have like different strengths. Like for me, that figure with the two demon heads, and it's just like super solid contrast. And then it's like brilliant how you had the arms over the black kind of horn wing thing, so it pops. There's no gray. There's nothing to hide behind. Like it's just solid design. Like it'd make a fantastic tattoo as well. And then on the right there, I just love that it's not details for the sake of details. You got different value range. You have flow above everything else. You have perfect pockets of negative space. It's readable, yet there's more to dig in as you go. So both are extremely good in different ways. The one on the right would be way more like how my brain thinks. On the left, that's the shit that I don't naturally do because it's not like my strength. Like, man, just no lines to hide behind.
The one on the right is like I always try to combine like these tumor cancerous kind of stringy things with some sort of it's not really machinery, but it's like
I call it space spaghetti.
Yeah, that's a brilliant word for it. But yeah, this also took a fucking long time to get to where I wanted it to be. But yeah, also the ones I still really like.
Do you like the one on the right for similar reasons to what I said, or are there other aspects that you like about it?
You know, the fun thing is, like my friend Jota, he was also on your show.
Yeah, brilliant artist.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant, and he's one of the artists I always consider like just fucking unfollowing him on Instagram because it makes me mad. How good
he's
he
so
is!
Good.
He has like this weird, like it looks so effortless the way his lines are in place, and it's just they're always right where they belong. But he's been talking to me about values and stuff, and that was actually the first time I ever heard that term. And it's never something I really have in mind when I start like mapping out a drawing. It's almost, I think, luck sometimes when it happens. But yeah, I wish I could plan for stuff like that. I guess it would make it a lot easier. But that's not really something I'm very good at. I'm afraid.
I'd say once again, just keep doing what you're doing. It fucking works, man. All right.
Yeah. So yeah, the one on the left, this is the cover for my third EP from my project.
This the final one?
Nah, this is I have a trilogy of EPs and then one final album
Okay.
that will come out sometime, I think early next year. And for all the other releases, even the split records and stuff, I usually commissioned artists I really like. Like Lupe did one for my first release, Lena, Richard. Who else did I have? But this one was the first recording of me where I had like guest musicians, not like in the recording itself, but like contributions to the songs. So I thought if this is like a collaborative effort, then it would kind of make sense to make the whole the layout myself. So I did that little painting, and yeah, the frame and the logo. I did some. Yeah, it was. I think I made the logo like in good old teenage tradition before I even recorded a single song. But that's like
yeah, cart before
always a good starting off point.
Oh, I feel you there, man.
Yeah.
That's such a visual art thing. Oh, I'll create the stuff and then the music will follow, you know?
Yeah, it's like self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing, trying to manifest something to fill the shape you constructed.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But the one on the right, that is actually an interesting story. It was for Visigoth, and Jake has been my friend for a while. And I'm a huge fan of like From Software games like Dark Souls and Bloodborne and all the other shit. I've been spending way too many time with that. And when he came to me and he said like it's a concept, it's a single, I think, like 2 songs about more or less Dark Souls lore. I was fucking excited, of course, and but then I had to do it in like 1 day. It's like deadline was basically the next day, and this wasn't him. This was the label, which I shall not mention. And yeah, so I had to like pull an insane all-nighter, and I kind of did a rough sketch, showed it to him. He liked it. Yeah, and then I sat down and drew for like I think 14 hours in a row. And by the end of it, I didn't even see anything anymore. It was just like I saw a mess of ink, and yeah, and I thought, this must be it. Fucking hell, please let it be it. Then I scanned it, sent it to him, and yeah, and it worked. And funnily enough, the label only downloaded the thing like a week later, which is like I could have.
Yeah, it could have given me like 4 fucking days, man.
Yep. But I'm still kind of happy. I think it would have been a different thing. I don't know. Maybe it would have been also okay, but I feel like that struggle maybe made it what it is. And also, fun part about it is it's a very insular thing. But there's one huge YouTube guy who's doing these lore videos on Dark Souls and stuff. It's called Vatividia. And he actually showed that thing on screen with the music to go to it on a video about like Dark Souls inspired music or whatever, which was a fucking great moment because I've been watching this guy's stuff for years and years, and yeah, and some guy sent me a screenshot, and I didn't even understand it, and then I watched the video and was fucking blown away. And then again, I think a day later, the label put a DMCA strike on it, and it had to be taken down.
Man, fuck like, this label.
Jesus. Fucking insane. But I think he re-uploaded it, and I've been speaking to this YouTube guy a while afterwards, which was great. And yeah, that's the story to this thing.
I love this piece, man. Do you still have the original for this one?
Oh, I'm actually not sure.
Yeah,
I'd have to look.
Amazing piece.
Thanks, man.
All right. Couple more.
Yeah, one on the left. There's some a weird mix of like Alpine, however you say it, mythology. It's like
Three
uh,
Fates.
yeah, the Three Fates, but in like in their version of it, which goes more back to like some I don't know, Norse kind of mythology thing, and the two other guys around it are like these figures from the Wild Hunt. This like, do you know the Pagan thing where they go around in these costumes dressed up like demons in the winter time?
You talking about that like parade thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, it's like
It's
a
like,
Krampus looking parade.
yeah, exactly. And this is like this is always like a recreation of this legend of the Wild Hunt, and there's certain figures that are always there, and I've never seen them drawn like in a style that I would draw them in. So the guy commissioned me for a thing like that, and I said, "Hey, how about I put on these two idiots and make them, like put them in a way we haven't seen them before." And yeah, I want to do that very much, and I'm still very happy with the way it came out. Yeah, and the one on the right, there's actually not much to say about that. It's also one of the ones I still like, and maybe kind of the first one I did with that sort of medieval, not really medieval, but that gothic kind of architecture-y frame.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun, and this is kind of the thing what I've been talking about. Like it's not very intricate. It still has details, but I think it you can see on the first glance what it's all about. And
it's like perfect for a shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
Oh yeah.
These two are really sick.
More mozzarella art and space spaghetti. Yes, I love like cosmic horror shit because it's just so you can't really define it. Like a lot of people think it only stands for tentacles and yeah, weird only Lovecraft related stuff. But to me, it's like all the things you should be afraid of, but you can't really pinpoint it down to a certain thing, like an existential threat, not only to your body but to your mind. And I always I'm drawn to that kind of stuff because that's a thing I'm very familiar with. Like with you, I don't know. You ever had the feeling like if you're going crazy, will you be? You might be the last to notice. Like,
right?
Do people sense that there's something wrong with you and they're just not telling you, maybe, or something like that? And I do have thoughts like that sometimes, and this is kind of the way. Yeah, I visualize that in like you're kind of dissolving. And but to me, it's not really really enough. It's not really terrifying in a way. It's almost like weirdly liberating, like this setting free a certain thing that is like bound by your physical limitations or whatever. And yeah, whenever I do stuff like that, I'm kind of drawn to like take the things you usually associate with you as a person and the what the outside sees, and then kind of go into where what I would think if it would all crumble, what would stay, like some monolithic weirdly gnawed on portion of truth or self or soul or whatever. And yeah, that's why I do enjoy doing that stuff a lot.
Awesome. I love that there's like this like solid, mysterious geometry, or like, it's just like this cube thing, but it's like, what the hell really is it? And I don't know, it's really fascinating stuff, man. And it's like it allows, like you said, kind of just for so much freedom and open-endedness. So it's just really a great creative vehicle, you could say.
Thanks, man.
All right. And I think there's just a few more. I just couldn't help myself, just keep adding stuff. Kind of a continuation of what we were just talking about, but I love these two in particular.
Yeah, it's always kind of a thing for me to mix up that sort of stuff, the inner spiritual thing. Like this one is like standing over the abyss, like dissolving the ego and just letting it consume you in a weird maelstrom of space spaghetti.
It's like an oil spill.
Yeah. And this is kind of man, I'm saying so much, but I'm getting to a point where I'm
everybody does. I didn't notice anything. Yeah.
Okay. But I always feel like the what draws me to this kind of body horror kind of shit is that it's the purest thing I can think of when it comes to like death of the mind and the body. It's always like some spore, fungi, tumor thing, because that's like pure chaos that you can't. You basically don't know how to deal with. It has more or less a mind of its own, despite being a part of you. And that's the thing I can't not think about. And I always love when I have the chance to go into that in some drawings, because usually when I do those, there's certain thematic outlines I have, but those are all in a way a continuation of a theme that's going on with me, and a thing that I think about a lot, like this what really is the material element of us and the world around us and the perception. And I know, even if I talk shit like that, like I'm the absolute drug virgin. I think I've smoked weed in my 43 years of life maybe 5 times or something, and I don't drink alcohol. But I still feel like that is stuff that is worth exploring in a way. Like it's man, I had an interesting thought and it's gone. I'm sorry, but yeah.
Well, I think it's like maybe just because you don't do it, it for some people it could help them open up their mind.
Yeah,
see things differently.
Totally. I did that was not meant as a judgment or of any kind. But I feel like often when I talk about shit like that, people assume it's like some weird hippie trip kind of shit. But to me, it's like more like ruminations on life and our place in this whole thing that doesn't make very much sense when you look at it closely. And yeah.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I could look at this shit all day. These two in particular. This is just the kind of stuff that really, really inspires me.
Thank you, man.
Let's see. Is this the end? No, man. I just kept adding more. This one on the right, really, really like funky and creative in a cool way. This painting.
I think that was the first painting I ever did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I haven't been able to do it like that anymore. I don't know why. Because I really like the weird. I don't even know. Those are angels, obviously. I mean, I think you can tell. But yeah, the way they look all weird and chromy like. it kind of actually I have no fucking idea how I did that, and I wouldn't be able to recreate it. So yeah,
It's got those like nice highlights, but they're not too white. They're like a little bit, toned back, so they don't like scream at you.
Yeah, it's not like an armor kind of thing, more like
Sludge,
a beetle or something. Yeah, or like sludge. Yeah,
reminds me of because I love that kind of like look as well. I was you watch Spirited Away, the movie, the Miyazaki movie.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
So there's like that. I think it's called like No Man, or I forget. I'm so No Face. Yeah, but he like turns into that sludge monster and all that. It kind of is like that same kind of like little biological shine to it.
Yeah.
This design on the left is so fucking good, man. I love it.
Yeah, it's, I've always wanted to draw a Sphinx-like thingy, but not the one you expect. So I was very glad to have that chance, and yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Is this the last one? No, I still added more. Two more that I absolutely love. I pulled these ones. The one on the left, I mean this in like the coolest way. It's like, I imagine being in a shower, and then all of a sudden this fucking thing comes out of the wall of a shower. And like, dude, I think it's like a really horrifying idea. I love this one. And the one on the right, there's something heavy metal comics about it that I absolutely love. Definitely some Drew A and like Mobius in there. But like so fucking cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't even deny that. Yeah, I love the way he draws like spacey kind of things.
Yeah.
And the planets and the way they are shaded, and yeah. But the one on the left, man, that was maybe the most stressful thing in my whole fucking life. Wow. That is the Magic the Gathering card I did, and I'm one of two. And the moment they sent me that commission, it was still kind of blowing my mind, because like collecting those cards, I never played the game, but I bought them or stole them as a kid like all the time, and they really had an impact on the way I drew. And like, it's not the way they are now. They're all like very insanely well illustrated and stuff. But some of those early ones, man, they look like shit, but in the best way possible. Like stuff that really gets your imagination going. Like on some of them, you don't even really know what you're looking at, but it stays with you, and it's like in your head it transforms. That's when you look back at some video games you played as a kid, and they look basically like photorealistic to you, and you look at them now and think, what the fuck was I even doing there? And like having them come to me, it's not like I even applied for it or something. It was fucking insane. So yeah, knowing that a whole lot of people were having their eyes on that one, that kind of made me a bit nervous. Like,
is that what made it stressful overall? Was that?
Yeah, because I know the way I draw stuff, and it's not really fit for mainstream in a way. I think. I don't know, like all the gookies.
Yeah, but they wanted that. They wanted you for a reason.
Yeah,
they did the same thing with Mark.
Yeah,
they wanted Mark's art. You know what I mean?
True.
And other people. I mean, Matt Sticker's done magic work. His style doesn't fit into the mold as much.
Yeah, but it's great they're doing that. I mean, I don't know. It's always weird, and it's weird like seeing mainstream stuff kind of going for the heavy metal guys. Usually I'm a bit cautious with stuff like that, not for cultural appropriation or anything. I couldn't give a shit about that, but it always feels like, that's a kind of aesthetic that's been going for like a very long time. Like, there hasn't been a huge shift in the way those metalheads look. That's been like a uniform in a way for a long time. And obviously, if you're kind of in a creative director kind of thing, you can't avoid seeing that stuff. And I always feel like it's how do I even put that? I don't know. They don't care about like the history, if there's a thing like that, of the subculture in a way. They just like the way it came out, or it comes out now, or without recognizing the evolution it went through and why stuff like this became acceptable and blah blah blah. So I always feel like there's a certain step missing in the whole process, which gives it a weird unserious vibe, because it's always like a bit of tough guy cosplay mixed with I don't know. But in the end, I don't give a shit. They paid fucking well, and I hope they come back for more.
Yeah, I know what you mean though too. And like, I guess the other thing is when you work with like big companies, it's different process that they expect out of you, and takes a little bit of an adjustment on the business side too. Even if it pays well, it's like there's this different arrangement with art directors versus going direct to band, which can be a very good thing, by the way.
Yeah,
it can be an extremely good thing. This is the last slide. I remember I set this one as the last. I love Mournful Congregation. I like that you did the 2 illustrations for them. Great funeral doom band. And then with Pagan Altar, I felt like your interpretation of like some of their imagery was just like super fucking cool.
Thank you, man. I like the album I did the inlay for, the Gatefold. It's one of my favorite Pagan Altar records, and that was insane. Like having the opportunity to do that, and with this one as well, like the whole Crowman thing mixed up with their usual mascot. That was a lot of fun, and yeah, the Mournful Congregation stuff also. Like they let me do a bunch of stuff on my own. Like there's, I've been going fucking nuts on the mozzarella pull on that one. Jesus Christ. Yeah, but they wanted it that way, and that's great. So yeah, I like them.
Oh yeah. Well, that was quite the marathon there. Here, 1 second. Well, dude, this has been an extremely good episode for me, and I think the audience too. I'm so glad the internet didn't shit the bed.
Oh, Jesus, yeah, man.
Ended up being really smooth. It's a good learning opportunity for me too. So everybody, you kind of maybe have seen that instead of being like D grade production of the show, it's been kind of like C grade in the last kind of 6 months, because I go between the different camera angles. You're not going to get that with this one. You probably realize that by this point, but the conversation has been excellent. So enough rambling from me. I want to ask one last question, which is the usual of just, given everything we talked about today, I guess if you were to give one piece of advice to other illustrators who are interested in becoming part of the scene, what would it be?
So the one thing I always try to say to younger artists when I come across their stuff and they hit me up, and I'm always happy to talk about someone trying to get a foot in there, it's like fucking chill on the cross hatching. Until you understand what it does, why it's the way it is, where it comes from, just don't do it. Don't do like random lines to do shading, because it's, you want to go for the Dürer look, for the woodcut engraving kind of thing. And there's only one guy on this planet who does it, right? There's maybe more, but I don't know if you know the German tattoo artist Billy Bernard.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, like he is the only guy I feel like who can really emulate the way Dürer drew. And a lot of people are trying it because it has like a tradition in black and death metal to do this kind of alchemy inspired stuff. But you don't have to. You can just draw the thing and shade it whichever way you want. But like doing those random lines and hoping this is how cross-hatching works never looks that good. And that's one of the reasons why I don't do it, because I have no fucking idea how it works. And I've tried it, and there's a reason none of you have ever seen one of those, because I threw them away. And yeah, that's the thing. And don't be afraid to let your background reach like figures you're drawing in the foreground. I see a lot of people like always leaving like a contouring kind of thing, an outline around stuff. Some people feel like it's maybe people who grew up more with comic books. I didn't really, but they feel like you need to have an outline to draw characters or something. And I feel like you don't need to. We don't really have an outline in real life. So just yeah, go
Like
for
have
it.
some like vanishing edges, basically, or like soft edges instead of it all being hard. Yeah.
And yeah, don't expect to become rich. And also interesting, you might find out sooner or later that some of the people you look up to in bands are kind of assholes. So just prepare yourself for that as well. But yeah, that's basically all. The rest you just gotta go with the flow, I think.
I like it, man. Very practical.
Yeah.
All right. So for everybody watching, you probably already are, but follow Karmazid on Instagram. He has a shop. He has prints. He'd be happy to sell, assuming the tariffs and shit have been sorted out. I don't know.
Yeah, I will close down my shop, not because of the tariffs, not only because of them, but I've been extremely bad about it, and I feel bad about it, and I try to apologize every time. It takes me forever. I don't know what's wrong there, but yeah, I don't think that. Yeah, I'll outsource it to another guy.
Don't buy stuff from Karmazid.
Buy original. That's okay.
Okay, buy an original. Definitely buy an original. But yeah, beyond that, I'm blabbing. This is an excellent episode, and for the people watching, it might not be every other week. The things have just gotten really busy. I got my own illustration commissions, but show isn't going anywhere, and this is a great way to kick it back up after about a 4-week break. All right, see you guys. Thank you.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Of course.